Good morning, learners. Uh, this session is devoted to the topic disaster management. And to talk with you on this topic, we have a very senior person, Mr. Mohan Saranji. He is a senior manager safety in NTPC. So I request Mr. Mohan Saranji to discuss about the disaster management.
Thank you, Mr. Bharadwaj, and good morning to you all. See, the word disaster is very familiar at the moment nowadays. You were quite often, you might be listening this particular word. Earlier also we had the disasters, but very recently like environment, and we are having this word disaster. What is a disaster basically? Disaster is a Greek word that shows the bad starts. So whenever they had the bad starts, like as in spirituality in India we called time theek nahi chal raha bhai, stars are not good. So they have already invented this particular word for this bad stars. And nowadays, because number of things has been included in this particular thing, so it has become more vulnerable. And once it becomes more vulnerable, then we will have to think more about of it. It's a, very simple psychology is there. In very recent, because we are staying in the society, so we had factories also as well as the nature also. So these both the things are, I will try to cover in my talk in coming time. See, first we talk of the industry. There we are having, because we are earning our bread and butter, we cannot just left the things on somebody's this one. So one has to face once it comes to it. Very recently, some few years back, there was one disaster, and one city is known to that one. You know about the Bhopal. Now Bhopal is known as Bhopal tragedy, not only in our country, throughout the world, because that was a place where we have lost around 3,000 precious human lives, 30,000 affected, and it is the only, state which is having a separate ministry for it. Nowhere in the world it is there. For one accident, and that factory has perished forever. The factory land is there, machines are there, but it's not producing anything. It's around 3,000 people have lost their bread and butter and livelihood. What a very simple thing. Nowadays we are talking of so many things about the AIDS and all that, and they say that the answer is only the awareness. The same is the case here. Disaster means if we are aware in the society, then only, and that's the reason after that one, even the Government of India has made a separate act of it. And the gravity is so much that the National Disaster Management Authority has been, placed in that, headed by the Vice Chairman, who was leading this country, by Lieutenant General Vij, and headed by this authority is, the President is Prime Minister of this country. They have raised the battalions. I'll let you know in coming slides that how this idea has been percolated in the society. So this is very most important, that this every factory, every installations, whether it is electrical, whether it is any other factory or this one, we should have this one. And that particular plan is, which is called the disaster, is to be placed and practiced it. So whatever one has to do it at this factory level, that is we termed as a on-site emergency plan. Earlier it was not there, it was managing with that, but now it has been made a mandatory under the Factories Act under section 41B and MSI rules of the section 30, so that no occupier or the owner of that one, he can say, pass on the buck that I am not responsible for that. So that is one reason. And secondly, when it comes to because of you, it was a factory accident at Bhopal, and who suffered? The people staying nearby, the people of the Bhopal has actually suffered it a lot. So whose the responsibility? The owner of the Union Carbide, they say, I am responsible within the factory walls. I am not responsible near something. Something goes wrong, then what to do with that? So that is the responsibility of the state government, that is the district magistrate of that particular area, whosoever is there. So that one part is taken care of, this one. And then who is the responsible? Then the state and then the center. And like that in 4 tiers this has been, cleared it. And for that the made had been. And so far, few states they have made this disaster management plan. So we talked of on-site. This on-site, what is that? This is a simple occurred due to the many reasons. It may be because of the terrorist act or the natural cause or the earthquake, cyclones, floods or any other malpractices or the malfunctioning of the standard practices. Because of this was happened. So this was talking the man-made, this one. Another is the natural. This is created by man because whatever you are producing and then you are doing something. But at the same time, when the nature strikes, that also create the similar conditions. Whether it is flood, whether it is cyclone, whether it is, and the more power generating industry is more prone to that one. Whatever we do it, the wind creates the problem, the snow is creating the problem to our lines and power stations and this one. So that's the reason that even sometime we have made our power station in underground. In the hilly region, the way the terrain is very rough, but the potential is there, we can generate the cheap power. We have made even the underground power stations. So that is, but there, hazards are different. We will have to do it. That's the reason that even the underground power stations, you are generating electricity inside the mountain itself, but once you will have to take to the society, so the switchyards has been made outside it, and that too on a very steep nearby riverbeds nearby that one. So these are the natural. Now the third dimension to the disaster management has been happened in the society, that is the terrorist act. See, what is the man-made, whatever you are doing in the factories or in the power stations or in the substations. And secondly, the natural calamities. Now even if you talk the children of the school, they also know what is Katrina, what is these hurricanes and all that, tsunami and so many things. These are all, natural disaster. Third one is, but once you yourself, a person who is not having the control on his mind, take a small shell and throw your transformer, the whole city is disturbed. Place like Delhi, where we are having the crores of people, how to manage with this, all those things. So these terrorist acts also creating a problem. I will just share you as an experience that in a thermal power station or something like that, the chlorine is one of the very deadly gas, like we had the Bhopal at the methyl isocyanate. Had the people aware, would have not lost that much of life. The antidote of it was so simple that each one of us knows it. The simple, wet cloth, if you put on the mouth, number of people would have been saved. But it was not aware. People who are not aware, they have opened it. Once it was closed door, they have opened, okay, it comes and go, and that has created because it is lighter than air. Those who are at the ground level, they saved it. So these are some of these, examples of the natural disasters and man-made disasters and these terrorist acts, which is the creating, and they are categorized in various levels, level 1, level 2, level 3, which we will talking a little later. See, so it's not it's a mandatory that the person who is working in a factory or in such an installation, he has to make the crisis plan. Earlier also it was there. Earlier it was known as a civil defense and all that, but now it has a very wider scope, and this thing has been given. Next. This I have already shared, like hazardous chemical rules under section 41B, and it has to be made he has to main as any other function, engineering function we are doing it. Once we are generating the electricity, selling it, we are metering it and doing the things similar way, he has to take care of this emergency part of it. Next. See, these are some of the photographs. This is very recently in South Africa, one power station has caught the fire. Is in the oil area, because in power industry, fortunately, you are generating the energy and you are keeping all sort of materials, and this oil has caught the fire, because like where I work in the NTPC Dadri, whatever, because we as a alternate fuel, we are having the oil. This is the 14,000 KL3, storage tanks are there, which Delhi is not having, at one place itself. We had the gas, we had the all sort of, it's around 45 base, switchyard, which is the biggest in Asia. So you can well imagine the amount of the power we are having. So next, these are the nearby associated area. It's not only what we were talking, the terrorist attack and all that. In a big power station or the big substation of now, earlier 33 kV was a ST site, then 132 kV, then 220 kV, now we are talking of 800 kVs. Naturally you need a huge amount of the land and so many other systems. So you had the nearby area also that way, and it is away from the society. So that also creates a problem. So this is the earlier photographs. See, this is one of the fire where it has caught fire in the tanks and how bigger it is. Next. These are the nearby area it has been affected. Next. These are the turbine hall of a power station where the turbine has been, gutted into the ashes. It's very recently the risk assessment of this power station done, but when the insurance people came, I have taken this photograph from them. So this is the culprit where it has gone, the hydrogen area. Next. See, these are some of the glimpses of, we are not talking a small accident, burn injuries and all that, where the nation has lost worth crores of rupees, and subsequently it impacts. We were talking in the morning the cost of an accident, which is maybe in few lakhs, few crores, but cost of disasters, it is, it's difficult to control, but I mean a sizable amount you can reach to that one, and which affects the economy of the country even. Next. 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 See, next. These are the some of the photographs which I am sharing with you. Next. Next. Now this has happened. This off-site, on-site effects on the, I mean, how to plan it. Now our basic question is, we know the problem, we know the things, then how to plan it? Next. Back. These are first thing we should identify the problem. Like in a power plant, we had the, which are the places where we can have the big disaster. We had the good amount of coal. The main plant is boiler, turbo generators, and lube oil tanks, water treatment plants, hydrogen generation plants, switchyards, and fuel oil handling, cable galleries. These are all the potential sources where we can have the this one. Like coal handling, we can have the slow isolated. Substations, we can have the cable galleries, or in a power station. Fast expressing fires, where we can have it, this is your cable galleries. See, substations, number of substations has been gutted, because once we take the energy from one place to another, all you know it, that it is through either it is through naked wires, which we call the transmission system, or whenever it goes through the cables. Earlier we were 220 kV, it was a very, I mean this one, now you are using 220 kV cables also for transmitting power from one place to another place. There you cannot have this one. See, and this not only to that one, it leads to the explosions also. My earlier speaker, Mr. Babu Rao, was sharing with you that this transformer fires. We had all safety arrangements. Buchholz relay is there, then the diaphragm of this one can go out. And basically it's the, you are cutting the oxygen, beside the emulsifying you are cutting the, I mean water curtain, so that the oxygen from outside reaches less and it extinguishes it. You have made all arrangement, even that it happens. And the third part of which we are talking, the terrorist, if he is able to reach that area and put this one. See, in a power plant or in any this thing, we are keeping around 9 tons of the chlorine. We need a license for that from the government, from the explosive departments. Place like Delhi, you know, you had capped 300 tons of the 300 metric tons of the chlorine at least 2-3 places. He need not to fight a fire. If we just do all your this water clarificators, water drinking water, you had this in Delhi 2-3 places. They are also demolarizing the water and using the chlorine. But they don't have the license. If we had the license, even then, the only idea was one should know it, that we should have the proper disaster management plans in a case of emergency, what has to be done. And after a lot of hue and cry, now they have made it, this one, Delhi government and others, because of this one. So, cable galleries are one of the very vulnerable areas, and I share with you, in Uttar Pradesh itself, we have lost the at Anpara, Obra, where this whole of the heart of the power station, that the UCV was gutted into the these cable faults, and that can be happened anywhere, and that the most of the electrical accident and disasters, they are the, I mean, carriers of the disasters basically. In any substation, a small substation or a big power station, where because there all the things are available. You know that wherever electricity passes through any conductor, it generates the heat. It's a inherent characteristics of the electricity. Whenever, as a human body, if you talk, you generate also some amount of the electricity, and you also generate the heat, otherwise also. But there it is the inherent characteristic, it generates the heat, oxygen available in the plenty in the atmosphere, the right moment comes, it reaches to that and it catches the fire. If it is a inflammable material, then it is explodes. Next. So these are the next. These are some of the explosion hazards that hydrogen plants and this turbo generator area, we had the hydrogen. See, one should know it, and that knowledge and awareness that creates the, I mean, awareness in the society, how they think. Hydrogen is earlier it was a hydrogen bomb was, I mean, invented, and whole society of the world was thrilled. But it is having a very good quality that it carries heat along with it. So that's the reason more than 100 megawatt generators, they are all hydrogen cooled. And you will be astonished that very minimal quantity, around 0.2 joules is required to ignite it. And that much amount of energy you can, just by clapping that you can generate it. And that's the reason that whenever the hydrogen explosions has taken place, the whole generator. In a thermal power station, around 200 megawatt, the heaviest part in the power station is the generator, around 170 metric tons. And that has flown into the pieces. People have collected these small pieces from 2 kilometers and 3 kilometers from the aero site of a power station. Substations, the biggest hazard is your transformer. Earlier days we were using the bulk oil circuit breakers. Now because of the improvement in the technology, you are going to SF6 and the various other types of this one, air blast circuit breakers and all those things. But here nothing can be done. We will have to live with the hydrogen, because as we are going on higher side, as we are going on the higher side of the distribution transformers in KVAs, naturally the amount of oil will be increasing it. Your reactors, you will have to use it. That's why we have segregated. Earlier it was the three-phase transformers, we had to one place we were keeping it. But nowadays each phase-wise we are making it. And in between we are putting the barriers, walls. That is how we are shifting. We cannot eliminate. If we cannot eliminate, then we have to shift it. Then the various firefighting arrangements are to be taken care. See, like in a power plant, I shared with you the chlorine or this one. These are some of the things which creates this one, and because it's a national property which a very high amount of I mean sensitivity and secured place, so that normally these power stations are having his own power, I mean firefighting systems. Beside the complete fixed systems, we have a separate persons for that. For that the CISF or some agency or their own fire brigade system we are having, so we are not dependent, so the response time should be there. See, These all ideas have from where we got it. These all ideas we have got from the defense only. There is a one slogan in this one that in the peace time, more you had the sweat, less is the blood at the time of the war. Once we plan accordingly, our action plan should be such that we should not be made a chaos at that. Now these disasters has taken place, then how to come out? So that we have to plan it. The action plan should be available with this. With the so-called either it is the engineer in charge in case of a small power station, the occupier or the chief engineer or the general manager, whatever the nomenclature to the top brass we call it. So once you tell him. But it is the phenomena, it's a psychology. Anything good has done, it is done by me. Anything goes wrong, it has been, somebody is responsible. After Bhopal tragedy, the only thing the government of India has made the amendments in your Factories Act, and in certain other acts also has been changed. Even Indian Electricity Act has been enacted in 2003, which was long pending due. It is a very old thing. See, there is what is the difference between act and rule? Act are normally made by the central government. The lower house, Lok Sabha and then Rajya Sabha approved, and finally the first citizen of the country, the President of India, once approves it, it becomes the act. Who will enforce it? The liability has been given to the state government and they have made their own rules. So that is the difference between act and rule, and responsibility has been fixed. Because saying few words of the management, it cannot. Once the legal part comes, somebody is to be by name, it should be this one. And that's the reason the occupiers, especially in the government companies, under section 2 and 3, it is very clearly defined that who is the helm of the affair, or immaterial of the designation, will be declared as the occupier. In the Indian electricity rules, it is the helm of the affair, immaterial of this designation, he should be in charge normally. That's why we are. But once it comes to the action plan, at that particular time, the person has to be cleared it. This aspect also. I don't know, I am the chief engineer, I will not do it. So that's why we have given the various nomenclatures. The chief incident controller. So your designation will not come back. For any disaster comes, then the chief incident controller, Mr. So and so. To assist him is the work incident controller, WIC. He has to do it.
Sir, can we take a call at this time?
Yeah.
Yeah, please. Yes, please speak.
हेलो।
Yeah, please speak.
ये आपने 28 का क्लास बताया है एक, ये कैप्शन में आ रहा था 10:30 से 12:30। अभी आप बताएंगे कितने बजे से है क्लास, और 28 इज ए वर्किंग डे।
I am unable to understand what you are talking. What? No, next class is not on 28th. Next class is on 14th of April. Okay, and if you have any question, yes, speak.
But recently you have shown a caption in which you have given 28th March is a special class from 10:30 to 12:30.
No, for ACPDM there is no class for on 20th of March. For ACPDM it is on 14th of April. Next video conferencing session for ACPDM program will be on 14th of April. Sir, please continue.
Okay, next. So we were talking something about the action plan. This disaster has taken place or the various inputs are available. So once we go for that one, so at that particular time, whatever the toxic material we are having it, whether in our substation or in a power plant or in a factory. So like that in power plants, the various things we are having the petrol, diesel and various chemicals, toxic chemicals like chlorine and all those things.
Excuse me, sir, we are waiting for one more call.
Yeah, please.
Yes, please. Please give the call.
Hello?
Yeah, please
Yeah,
speak.
this question is for Mr. Mohan Sharan.
Yeah,
I had
please.
a question regarding the maintenance, preventive maintenance or we can say annual maintenance or breakdown maintenance. Does it also have some relation with the disaster management? Like can we, if the preventive maintenance is done properly, can we manage the disasters or disaster basically we are talking about accidents?
Let me start answering this question. Actually, on maintenance, we are having the session on 14th of April,
Hello?
operation and maintenance. And you are asking that whether this maintenance can generate any disaster. Then now I give this question to Mohan Saranji.
Madam, this once you say okay, it's a preventive maintenance, so you know it. On that particular day you are doing this particular maintenance and that may not lead to any accident, I mean disaster. It may lead to an accident because once you are doing something, so that's what we call the breakdown maintenance and this. And now the one more step we start thinking on that, the risk accidents. Because preventive we have seen for a better life of this and whatever the balanced life we are having it. So earlier we are doing the breakdown maintenance, then we come to the preventive maintenance. Now we are one step ahead, we are thinking of the risk accidents. So risk maintenance accident. Whenever we are at the risk, then only we will do it. So I don't think it will lead to any disaster. Rather, to reduce the disaster, it will be the one of these steps. Am I clear? So I think I can continue. So these are the, I mean, this one next. We should know it. What are the materials we are keeping? We can create the problems. Next. So these are the action plan, and we'll take next. So now we should be very clear what is the chief incident controller, that I mean chief engineer or the substation in charge, whosoever is, what is his duties. So that we are, I mean as per our conditions we jot it down and we should be very clearly, it should be in black and white so that one should not create it is not mine. And who can declare it? See, we have talked since morning, the accident, incidents and this disaster now we are. Now one person says that it's a disaster, you should declare the emergency. Another say, no yaar, it's a small accident. We are working a service station, if a OCB has blasted, it is not a disaster. Had it been the whole, I mean service station is gutted where the reactor is also gone, it is the bus bar also melted and the, I mean all disk has been, in that area has been blown off because of the explosion. Yes, this may be termed as anything big is a disaster. But that should be that responsibility should lie with someone who can declare it. It's not XYZ who can declare it. He only and if we various scenarios if we study, and then we can find out, yes, in this case we will declare the disaster, it is predetermined, then the confusion will not be there. Then and he should be given the various responsibilities. Who will declare it? Who will declare, yes, now that this emergency is over, and who will liaison with the, other departments. I need the help. That person should be identified. Who will, in my hierarchy has to inform to my corporate or my head office. That should be the responsibility. This one began. So whatever the responsibility you decide, and then it should be jotted down, and that should be declared to and known to everyone. That's one of the things for the chief incident controller. Next. Similarly, like we have tried it, if it is a disaster, then the language should also be set. It should be brief, crisp, and with the crux of the information, like the location of the disaster, brief description, then critical injuries of the personnel who has suffered it, if any, preliminary assessment of the damages, likely impact on the production. So these are some of the things we jotted down, and immediately at that time we need not to draft and all. These are the 6 subjects, on just fill it up, and so we will say. Same is the case of the WIC. WIC is who is assisting the chief incident controller. His duties also should be fixed up. The man should be identified, and he should be given the clear-cut instructions that what he has to do it. Number 1, the chief incident controller, whosoever the engineer in charge or the general manager or the chief engineer, whosoever is there. Similarly, who is assisting is the second lieutenant, second in command. If he is not there on that particular day when the disaster is struck, then the WIC will come automatically. And the second alternate for the WIC, work incident controller, should also be, nominated, and their duties also should be this one here. And then similarly, these are the 2 key persons. Now various teams has to be formed. See, like ordinary functions we are doing in our big functions, like marriage or something like that, we distribute our work. Right? Yes, you will look after the fooding, you will look after the shopping and all that. Similar way, defense is also doing, and they are doing is right from the inceptions. Whenever the battalion moves, it is having a different section for the transportation who is look after, different person looking after the food, different person, and the teams are divided. On similar lines, we made the various teams. Whatever name you want to give them, you give them. A task force or this one. The person who is looked after the transportation part of it, you identified a person, a small person, 4 or 5 person, as whatever manpower available. If it is a big power station, you can have the 5 to 10 persons. If it is a substation, okay, so and so will be responsible for the transportation. Communication team, a person who is according to available manpower, we can do that one. Then somebody made responsible for in case of emergency, he will look after this one, fooding and shelter and this. And then similarly the medical, like especially the substations, electrical substations and the bigger substations, where the manpower is not in comparison to the thermal, power stations. Then we should identify from where we can get in case of emergency. On my phone call, I can get this, arrange all these things. So we can already tied up. So these are the various teams which we need to generate, and clear cut their responsibilities. In black and white, it should be circulated and practiced. Then, like security, at that time to whom we allowed, it should at the gate itself, to To entry should be the unauthorized person should not be allowed, because it's not a this one, otherwise it will create a cost if the nearby people comes. And to allow the ambulance and the evacuation vehicles, this one. Medical teams. See, if it is a power stations, whether it is nuclear, whether it is hydel, whether number of people are more. But in case of the substations, especially the grid substations, the people are hardly 10 to 50, not more than that. At that time, this all, arrangements, maybe one person has to take the load of, 3 functions. So these are around 8 to 10 functions: security, communication, medical, and all those things. They should be clearly defined, and this should be given that. The responsibility should be in black and white, and who has to act in that particular. Similarly, the safety team, if it is a big organization, otherwise somebody to take care of the personal protective equipments, what we should have it, the breathing apparatus or the fire entry suit or something like that, if it is very prone to area. Otherwise, we can manage with the state fire brigade system, which is nearly in cities it is all possible, but the person, those who are at the remote places or the far-flung areas from there, then it is similarly the medical teams. And then one more aspect of this disaster management is the mutual aid. Whatever you are having it, that is good enough, but everything you might not be having it. But in case of emergency, we should know from where I can get it, in nearby, whether it's state governments or this one, other factories or the other substation. May not be. For electrical installations especially is not there, then other type of the industry can be taken care from where I can get this one. See, apart from this, there is a finance also. A certain amount may be kept reserved. In case of disaster, yes, I need not to this one. Even the planning people have that, like our country is having the buffer stocks, so I should also have the some buffer stock or some arrangement to that, who can at the time of emergency I can get it. I share you one of the example that once such type of incident happened, so even the department was not having the funds, but we had a arrangement, because in a bigger thermal power plant sites, these banks, they also stays in our colony. In the night 10 o'clock, we got it open and got the cash and sent the dispatch the people, because going and collecting something from outside, you need it. So at that time we will not wait for it, like as at the security gate we are not waiting for the any gate pass or any permit or any something like that at that time also. So that's the reason, if you see the good olden days, the average state officer was having the cash chest with along with the office. So whatever a minimum cash he has to maintain it. But nowadays we are changing a scenario, so we should have some tie-up. Apart from that, mine and your, card may be a certain limit, but certainly some arrangement of this two should be tied up, so that the finance may not become this one. And for
Sir, excuse me, we are waiting for one call.
Yeah.
Yes, please give the call.
Hello.
Yeah. One thing I would like to request, we are able to listen you, but we are not able to see you. Can you
Hello?
switch on the cameras?
Hello.
Yes, speak.
I cannot get the exact definition of disaster management. Is it includes preventive management or managing the disaster? Means taking precautions before the disaster occurs, or is it like after occurrence of the disaster, it is managing all the occurrences? What is the exact definition of this?
Yeah, we got your
and
question.
What is
Yeah,
the
we.
activities in the disaster management?
Yeah, we got your question. You are asking that disaster management is whether the pre-disaster or post-disaster. So, Mohan Saranji.
Well, this is actually what we are talking. Once it has taken place, it's a post-disaster. Once you know it, pre-disaster, there is not a disaster. When anything happened, then only we can plan. Only thing we can, plan it. If it has happened, so then I will do act and accordingly. Planning of the how to mitigate that which has happened.
I want to add something more to it.
Yeah, please.
Pre-disaster management is also includes this, because in some areas it is a earthquake prone area. We need some plan for that. We cannot in fact eliminate the chances of disasters there. Gujarat and Delhi is also a seismic prone area. We know that pre-disaster, we know that, but we are not preventing it, but we are planned for that, planned to that. So this, all this plan, post-disaster, what he is telling is, we know that this may happen, and we are planned for it. When it occurs, we act accordingly. And excuse me, one more. I just want to add. The earlier question was, at the time of planned maintenance, the chances of disaster. A call has come from Pune earlier, and in fact we couldn't answer it fully. So I just want to tell an example of Chernobyl. I already told that in Chernobyl atomic power plant, it was going for a planned maintenance. It was going to shut down for it, and during the shutdown they tried for something unauthorized action they had done it. That is, they want to do some turbine inertia test. This test was called turbine inertia test. For that they need a 700 megawatt generation on that. It was 3000 megawatt, 700 megawatts. So they put control rods into regulate the generation level. They put more control rods into it, so the generation has go down below 100. They want to increase that from 100 to 700. So they taken out the control rods. Due to carelessness, they were taken out more control rods, and the load increases exponentially. And they were unable to put back the control bags. So this was, in fact, it was going to planned maintenance. Likewise, in our plants also, when we are shut down, we got a lot of electrical fittings there, removing it, and a lot of cuttings and welding works were there, hot works we called it. On that, if we didn't take precautions there, it may lead to a disaster there. Fire ho sakta hai, there can be fire, or people works in the height also. If they didn't taken care of, they may fall down. They may incorrectly pull to some other wires. So disaster can be everywhere. It cannot be ruled out, whether it is a planned maintenance, or in a shutdown maintenance, or in a normal work. Thank you.
Actually, just to add it, here we have to very precisely understand the difference between the disaster and the accident.
So,
so just move on that difference between the accident and the disaster. And then beautifully said by Mohan Saranji that initially, in most of the chances, it will be an accident. Disasters cannot be generated by that, means there are the rarest rare chance that disaster is generated by some planned maintenance. So, please.
No, as you rightly said, sir, because this Bhopal tragedy is something like that. If you analyze that particular disaster, it was the ordinary walls by which it was going through that gas, and they all know it is leaking. Any wall you see in a power station or in any factory, 100% will not be, because of the aging it is start leaking something. If it is taking gas, it is like in our home itself, you know, after using that that chula, it starts one day, it smells out because of the ordinary walls also. The similar thing it happens, but there on that particular day it has leaked profusely, and those fellows they run away, and it was the person with the breathing apparatus from the nearby industry. They went there and I mean, by that time it has leaked so much, it has created. And after that only, and it's a very common, I mean, this in cold storage and the I mean ice making factories where you are using your ammonia.
Yeah.
It is leaked out and the whole vicinity in that area the people run away. The ordinary good, you are keeping a bomb in your house, sir. The LPG is 16 kg only, it's a very small amount. But what happened at Meerut? It once you start throwing it, it has converted into the disaster. The whole, I mean, so many people perished and all that. So, yeah,
Except the natural calamities.
yeah,
Any
natural
accident.
calamity. That's what we have. I mean, segregated in this one, different this one category itself. And now, natural is not there. Man-made is not there. The third category of this terrorist attacks, they have come into the, I mean, the scenario. And the level, that's what, this also we have categorized it into the level 1, level 2, level 3. See, will it come on this one? No, this one. No, ye wala. See, any disaster, it has, I mean, multifarious approach. One side you are looking after the person who has been victim of it, and the second side to restore the your systems also, especially in the power industry. Once the wind has blown up your towers, your first priority is that we should restore the power, like railways. Because of the floods, the lines has been washed off. Their first priority is that they should restore the railway lines so that the communication to the other part of the country is maintained. And for that they don't wait it to, I mean, salvage should be there. That's why you see so many, I mean, these wagons and all those things, they are lying along with it, the railway track. That. Similarly is in the case in the power industry. My first priority, because my tower has been washed away, which was in the bed of the river. The first priority is anyway between the two towers, by any whatever help is required by the, I mean, army or with a helicopter, I should be stinging out that one, this one. And see, we are working on the very high, extra high voltage lines with the charged one, this one. Since morning we are talking of the electrical accidents and various rules and regulations. You yourself is putting a man to that such a high voltage, but with all due precautions. That's why you are championing the, I mean, various vibration dampers and the jumpers of the transmission lines. So these are some of the things which we wanted to share with you. Any question?
Yeah, we are waiting one call, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, please give the call. Please. Yeah. Please speak, Mumbai. Yes, please speak.
Hello.
Yes, please speak. Please speak, Mumbai. I think call is disconnected. Yeah, you may continue, sir.
See this.
In the meantime, sir, excuse me, in the meantime, I would like to again request the students to fill in their examination form and send it, submit it before 31st March. This is to be submitted at headquarters. If you are sending it by post, then registrar SRE Student Registration and Evaluation Division, IGNOU Maidangadi. Or you can submit this examination form online also through our website www.ignou.ac.in. And some people were facing the problem that what they should write in the column of code of examination center. I would like to suggest you that on the website itself there is list of regional centers as well as the study centers. So you go through that list of the study center in a particular region or state, and whatever study center location is nearby your place, you write the code of that particular study center. This may be possible that that may not be the examination center certainly. Then in that case another nearby center, whichever is going to be the examination center, that will be allotted to you. So go through to the list of that study center and fill in that in code of that study center in the code of the examination center. Second thing that I want to share is that from two places, from two receiving centers we have got that attendance. I would like to request the regional centers and the other receiving video conferencing receiving centers of the EduSat to please send this attendance through fax or by post. Sir, you may continue. If you have to share some more, we are waiting for one more call, I think. Please give the call.
My question is to Madam.
Yes, please.
Can I ask the question?
Please speak.
What is the definition of step and touch potential, and what is the difference?
Okay, I can answer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Madam, there are two main definitions, the touch and step potential, which are considered for the substation. Touch potential is that the difference of the where you are touching the equipment at substation to the ground, and its value is 845 volt. It should be less than 845 volt, whereas the step potential is the potential between the two steps when the person is walking in the substation at the a meter away. The distance between the two steps would be a meter only, and its value is 288.3 only, 883 volt. It should be less than that. Then if it is less than that, then we can say these step and touch potential are safe in limit. Is it clear to you? Hello?
Do we have any call waiting? We are not having at this right moment. We are not having any call waiting. Do we have any question from the floor? Please take the mic.
I want to ask what about the other study material that will be provided by the IGNOU?
Yeah, your question is very valid. Students are eagerly waiting the second dispatch, and I think you joined us late. In our first session this question also came and I answered that second dispatch has been sent from the university, and you may receive it within a week. Any other query from the floor? Sir, you can yes.
There was a provision of giving the VCDs for the lectures. In the beginning we were told that there will be VCDs for these teleconferencing lectures. Where and how can we get that?
Yeah, we are in the process of making the CDs of these programs, and in due time you will get the CDs of the programs with you. Any other query? Do we have any call waiting? Sir, we are not having any call waiting, so you can continue and share your experience regarding the disaster management. Yeah, please, Mumbai. I think it is disconnected. So I request Mohan Saranji to share some more experiences regarding the disaster management.
See, now we know what is disaster and how it has to be mitigated. As a case study, I just share with you that in a thermal power plant, a train was, because when we power station are going in a bigger in capacity, so these are our old conventional method.
Yeah, please. Yes, please.
My question is for Madam.
Ji.
If a person gets shocked and he is declared dead, what will be the reason? It's the voltage or the current?
Yeah, I would like to give the answer
Hello?
of this. The reason is always current. If there is a high voltage, you may get a flashover thing over there, but the cause of the death will always current. And the current limit for the tolerable current limit for the man is 10 milliampere and for the woman is 8 milliampere. Is it correct, sir?
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Now, I again request Mohan Saranji to share his experience.
See, once I was sharing with you that capacity of the power plant increases, then more mechanization is required. So, at the very instance of the 1000 megawatt super thermals, when the NTPC started, they have gone for the merry-go-round, and it was the...
Yeah, please, Mumbai speak.
Hello, I'm calling from Mumbai, Somaya College.
Ji.
I want to know the nature of exam paper regarding the duration, whether it will be objective, subjective, number of marks, etc.
Yeah, duration of question papers will be of 3 hours, and this may be a amalgam of all objective, subjective, descriptive. Sir, you continue your experience.
Yeah, thank you again. See, it was a merry-go-round system was introduced from pit head, because so much quantity of coal you are carrying, and every time
Yes,
okay.
sorry for interruption, sir, again.
Okay.
Yes, please, Mumbai speak.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Ji, boliye.
Hello, sir. I am Rahul Chintalwa speaking from Mumbai.
Yeah.
My question is any provision in the Act to compulsion safety officer in distribution company? Sir. Hello.
Yes, yes, we got your question.
Hello.
We got your question.
Hello. Is any provision in the Act to compulsion safety officer in distribution company?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
आप करेंगे?
Thank you.
No, with the name of the designation of the safety officer in the distribution industry, it is not there. It is the electrical, rules. A person should be responsible for the looking after the safety also. In Electricity Act 2003, this provision is there. Earlier, we were keeping it in a different mode. But as per Factories Act, it is only in the factories, and they have defined with the number of people, number of person employed, and the horsepower you are using in that campus area.
Yeah, perhaps Duggal sir, you want to add something?
As a safety professional, I would like to share with you that it is always better to have preventive. No, not mandatorily the distribution they should have a safety officer, but as per Factory Act, one should, as per Factory Act and factory rules, there should be a safety officer in all the factories which are doing these hazardous processes are involved. And there are a number of persons identified. So many after up to 500 people, they should have one safety officer. And if the hazards are more, then they can go for a safety officer. Safety officer should be a qualified safety officer
with specific. He should have qualified. He should be a qualified safety officer with diploma in industrial safety and as either diploma in engineering with 3 to 4 to 5 years experience or a graduate engineer.
Thank you, sir. We are waiting for one more call. Please give the call. Please give the call.
Hello.
Yes, please speak, Lucknow. जी
Hello,
बोलिए.
sir.
जी बोलिए.
In the last conference, it was supposed to be the speaker was supposed to be Mr. Sahi, but Sahi was not. Mr. Sahi was not present. So we request you to at least one conference should be addressed by him, because he is a pioneer in the privatization and all these things. The second thing I would like to add here, only energetic speakers should be called here, because this today we are only this.
I don't know to which topic you are referring to for Mr. Sahi, first thing. Second thing, I don't know what is the measurement level of the energy. I don't know all, as I think and I believe my all speakers are having a rich experience of their field, and they are quite energetic too, as I am feeling, and students sitting on the floor here also, they are feeling. So I don't know what is the measurement scale of your energy level of my speakers. Do we have any call waiting? So we are coming to the end of this very good interactive sessions. Really, the eminent speakers shared their rich experience with the learners, and I hope the learners must have been benefited by their experience.
Call, sir. Call.
Yes, please give the call. Please give the call.
Hello.
Yes. First you reduce the volume of your TV. Yes, speak, please. Yes, yeah.
I
Please.
am Dilip Chauhan from Baroda.
जी बोलिए.
I wanted to ask one question that in the field, actually the engineers where they are working, and electrical accidents are bound to happen. So there are so many rules these days that up to the punitive steps are imposed by the rules. The civil courts also are defining them as not accidents but the mistakes of the engineers, and they are punished. So is there anything, a rule to save the engineers? There is no advocacy for the culprits. Culprits may be punished, it's okay. But the system is such that engineers are not always at the fault. So what does the rule say? What does the law say to save the innocent?
I would like to share with you that because we born in a country where there are so many rules. Because once you do it, you are born in this country, you are governed by the IPC. You are earning something, you are governed by the Income Tax Act. You are selling something. So similarly, once you are handling the electrical energy, where the life is very precious, if you don't, do it this way, so this particular act is in just to help create the awareness, and unfortunately, it is the amalgamation. Most of the cases which we are referring, it is because it's the prosecution of the negligence in the other part of it. Some people may not be, culprit, but somebody should owe the responsibility. With that idea, I think this has been created. As you are rightly said, because kare koi bhare koi wo wala hisab hai. But this judiciary system is such. But having the full faith in judiciary, the people are taking in a different modes.
Thank you, sir. So I thank all the eminent speakers who. Yeah, do you want to say something?
Before closing this
Yeah,
session,
please.
I will give one share to my trainees.
Yeah, please.
Close it and then I can.
No, you please just speak, then finally.
आप सबको हम सब की तरफ से बहुत बहुत बधाई हो कि आपने इस कोर्स में जो है रजिस्ट्रेशन कराया, जो कि आपके फ्यूचर के लिए बहुत ही यूजफुल रहेगा। हम सब यहाँ पे बैठ के जो है बात कर रहे हैं इलेक्ट्रिसिटी एक्ट के बारे में, इलेक्ट्रिकल सेफ्टी के बारे में, डिजास्टर के बारे में, लेकिन सब कुछ निर्भर करता है अपने आप पर। अगर आपके एक्ट सही होगा तो सेफ्टी वहाँ पे होगी ही होगी। सिर्फ मैं एक शेर आप सबके लिए बोलना चाहूंगी कि हम सबकी तरफ से आपके लिए ये दुआ है, खुदा से मांगते हैं ये दुआ कि सुखों का नूर इस कदर बरसे, खुदा से मांगते हैं ये दुआ कि सुखों का नूर इस कदर बरसे, अगर चाहे तो आपके लिए तरसे। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, madam. Very nicely said. And now, in the end, I thank all the eminent speakers who came here and shared their rich experience with our learners. Really, we are benefited by your experience, sir and madam. And I thank my learners of the ACPDM also here in the studio as well as at the various receiving ends. So thank you and goodbye for till the next video conferencing session, which is on 14th of April from 4:30 to 7:45. So we'll meet on 14th April. Thank you.